Morning. Today on Firearms Friday, we're going to be talking about the recent case involving Mr. Baumgartner, apparently the head of an anti-abortion group, a pro-life group. Uh, and so we'll be talking a little bit about that and how that story has shaken out. Um, I've got Mario here with me, much to my great surprise, because my lazy ass didn't drop the link until about 12 seconds before we went live. I was afraid I might have missed him. Your mic's still off there, Mario. You're,
How about that?
Good morning, brother. So, before we get into the story, did you have a good Thanksgiving? Did you have a good Turkey Day?
We already had Thanksgiving last week when my brother was here. Okay, so we just kind of did a supplemental Thanksgiving, I suppose. We had like a honey baked ham and just some sides. So I made basically was making little sandwiches, little sliders with honey baked ham and stewed onions, which is my favorite. It's fantastic.
Ooh. Ooh. Now,
Yeah,
when you say stewed onions,
you take little pearl onions. Okay, the onions are about that big. All right.
yeah.
They're a real pain. They're a pain in the ass to peel. All right, and then you basically boil them until they're tender. All right, then you remove the water. Then you toss in basically just milk, butter, and heavy cream, salt and pepper, and just kind of cook them down into a lovely creamy onion mash. It's quite good. Extremely Anglo-Saxon.
I tell you what, brother. As soon as the next time you get up here, we'll have to do the badass smash burgers we do. It's a shitload of onions
Oh
go
yeah.
on the grill on each slider, and then we do them with homemade bacon jam,
Okay.
which uh which is exactly what you should think it is. It's amazing.
So they like
So
those. They like the Kansas City style Depression era burgers, where like half of it is onion because they were trying to save because the meat was too expensive.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah, those are good.
exactly. But it turns out that if you put that much Aaron Olson says Mike got it.
Yeah, your mic's a little hot.
Got it.
That's better.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Oh, yeah, the that particular style of smash burger uh was originally invented. Mario's correct, because it was Depression era, and the guy was trying to stretch his meat supply, so he just put like a whole onion in each burger.
Yep.
Turns out it's freaking delicious.
Yes, it is. It is, especially when you get the crust. When you get the crust on the onions, that's what sells it. Because
Yeah,
it's like oniony hash browns basically mixed in with your burger and taste and texture. It's all there. Just a little bit of
yeah.
mustard. A little bit of mustard. It's all it needs. Yep.
Well, we kick those up with the bacon jam, which is basically you kind of finely chop your raw bacon, render it, and then without removing you don't remove any of the bacon fat. You just add some brown sugar and a bunch of spices and maybe some diced jalapenos and onions,
Oh my
and
god.
that turns into a sauce that becomes the sauce that you put on the burger, and
So
it's amazing.
it's pancetta flavor slime. Excellent. Nice.
So, brother, I'm glad I've got you this morning, because this story in particular, this is a great one, I think, for our.
Well, my Brushfire Mine social welfare score was cratering near zero. Okay, I figured I needed to do something to boost my numbers. So
Well, we've got the deep dive tomorrow night, so
yeah,
uh,
and we don't have a defined topic yet, which is great.
we'll
Man,
discuss that. You and I can discuss that a little bit after the show this morning.
do
Um,
you know what I'm gonna have to do today? This is Black Friday. Okay, and I work in sales. I am about to start a shift from 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. Okay, so I'm doing 11 hours. 11 hours on the phone with people. So, and I am an
I
introvert.
did that. I did that around. I did that around the holiday sales at the end of 2020,
Hmm.
and I was running. I was running phone support for a couple of different companies.
Hmm.
Bowl and Branch, they do the sheets.
Yep.
Fredericks of Hollywood,
Nice.
and There was one other one, but at the time, I think Fredericks of Hollywood is completely bust now. They originally did like they were kind of like
Fredericks of Hollywood was Victoria's
for,
Secret, except a little nasty, a little kinkier than Victoria's Secret.
Before I worked phone support for them, the company had gone bankrupt and closed down all its physical stores, gone online entirely.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happened, they definitely drifted even further into the kink.
Yeah.
And so you can imagine what those phone calls were like. Well, it just stopped buzzing. Oh, God. You know what? I don't care. Here's a shipping label. Just send it back to us, and I'll make them buy you a new one. Just stop talking, please.
we have a no return if anal policy. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't help you. Strictly oral and vaginal if you want to return. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a dark period.
Dark insight into the
needless to say, in my life, at one point in my life, I was a bouncer at an S&M fetish club.
Mm-hmm.
That I encountered less disturbing shit there.
Makes sense, because what people will do in private is far. There's no limits.
Oh my God!
There's no limits. Say what you want, but the vampires will police themselves. Okay, if it's just you in your bedroom trying to come, there's no limit.
Hey, I see little Cam joins us this morning. In the spirit of Thanksgiving, I actually made a new music video yesterday. And when I published it, I went to lay down, and I pulled up my phone right after I laid down just to double check and make sure that it had actually shown up on YouTube where it was supposed to.
I replied to it.
Yeah. Well, Lil Cam watched it before I even had a chance to go and double check that it had actually published. So if you guys haven't seen that one yet, I would like to play it real quick and see if we don't get a chuckle out of it. And then we'll get into this. We'll get into the story for this morning, which is a bit of a doozy. While this is about to start, Mario, are you tracking on this story yet, or am I about to broadside you?
Well, I suppose I could open the article and read it while you're playing the video.
All right, guys, here you go. I hope y'all get a chuckle out of this.
Oh, the pilgrims weren't naive, no fairy tales or fantasies. They knew they'd meet a wilderness that wanted them all dead. They carried carpenters and farmers, muskets, axes, winter armor, realist with grim resolve and Bible verses in their head. No talk of where's the charger, no shock at no hot water. They expected cold and hunger like a bill that must be paid. Not helpless, they were hardened, every hardship well discerned, and every risk accounted in the plans they soberly laid. Oh, the grit those souls were steeled in, every hardship pre-revealed, and still they crossed an ocean knowing half of them might fall. A courage carved in timber without tech to babysit them, and that's the part that truly shocks the modern weaklings most of all. And now the gadget-glutted, battery beside it, would perish in an hour if the Wi-Fi ever rotted. Lose the power, lose the grid, gone immediate feral kid. Your ancestors built a nation, you can't find your car without your bid. We're the hyper-connected, algorithmically protected, needing apps to tell us when to drink or stretch or sigh. Try to run off to the woods, you'd starve between the neighborhoods. You die before your DoorDash brought your moral support stir fry. We're the neo-needy nomads of the nexus, interconnected, a species so dependent even Google keeps receipts. Our wilderness survival is just for our revival, and half of us can't function if the thermostat misbehaves a beat. Where pilgrims fell their timber, we collapse when service hinders. If the latte's made incorrectly, civilization weeps. We call ourselves advanced, but unplug us once and that's it. Society unravels in a disappointingly short sweep. But progress is a spiral and the gears turn ever higher. From muskets to machinery to microchips and fire. And just as we mock yesteryear for being backward pioneers, future folks will laugh at us the way we laugh at wooden tires. Imagine shiny robot people, post-laboratory peaceful, skipping through abundance like they're brunching every day. They'll study us with bafflement at how we work for government and think our whole economy was little more than cosplay. We'll seem like quaint Victorians amid their grand historians, a clumsy age of fossil fuels and phones that sometimes froze. They'll treat our smartphones like antiques, our industries like diaper leaks. Oh look, they thought that was the future, precious mortals, heaven knows. Oh, picture in a world rebuilt without the grind, without the guilt. Robotic serfs and AI saints doing all the heavy load. No wages, bosses, labor fears, just long and languid golden years, where humans spend existence writing poems, eating scones. From up on that abundance peak, they'll study us confused and meek and wonder why we clung so tight to toil and tangled stress. We built machines that built machines, but kept on working. By what means? Our era will look primitive as tents made out of canvas. So raise your mugs and gear-born grins, you clockwork-hearted hooligans, for every age looks foolish to the ones who rise above. From pilgrim huts to server stacks to robo-utopian syntax, we're just the middle chapter in a saga forged in love. And one day folks of circuits bright will laugh at how we saw the light and say, imagine thinking that was progress. Ba-da-da!
Yeah, so basically yesterday on the way to family Thanksgiving, we listened to the old recording of Rush Limbaugh explaining the truth of the origin of Thanksgiving, which has to do with early settlers experimenting with communism and discovering it was a gross failure. And to be clear, we're talking about the original settlers. The original settlers were... So we're talking about experimenting with communism, socialism in a small community of about 40 people 100 years before Marx.
Yep.
Let's
say you're talking about a homogenous group of people who are ethnically homogenous, religiously homogenous. Okay, so if there was ever like kind of a bubble, okay, a perfect setting, a perfect like stage where this you might actually succeed with communal property, okay, and no individual property rights, then this would be the one. But even still, it wasn't enough because people didn't want to work because they had there was no personal remuneration for their labors, okay, and it immediately turned into a kind of a community where everyone's more concerned with the fact that the other person doesn't appear to be working as hard as they are, okay, than it is for about actual like communalism and cooperation. Okay.
Well, so it's even worse. It's actually even worse than what you just described. And this is how communism works. Basically, it's not just that there's no personal remuneration for doing more work. It's that everybody is compensated the same.
Correct.
Which is to say, it just barely above subsistence level, whether or not they actually contribute. And so doing more work just takes away from your life. It doesn't help you at all. Even though in theory it should help the community. And of course, what they discovered is when they said, okay, fine, you keep what you grow. All of a sudden, everybody was growing the shit out of some corn and beans and everything else. And all of a sudden, like the reason we have Thanksgiving is because the Pilgrims scrapped communism and began doing a sort of meritocratic-based capitalist system where everybody is essentially rewarded by the profit of their own work. And they found themselves at the point where they were starving in years previous. They found themselves where they had created so much excess that they could not consume it. And so they began to trade it with the Indians. And that's why we had the first Thanksgiving. They built that. Once you have excess wealth, you don't share it broadly. You use it to grow your influence. And now what you've done is you've increased your access to the creation of even more excess wealth. and that grows and grows and grows. Late stage capitalism is the consumption of other people's value by undesirables entering the closed community. That's unfortunately.
You are here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's. So anyway, we listened to the Rush Limbaugh story, and I was thinking about it kind of in this context. Like, okay, these guys got on a boat. 40 people got on a boat, went across the water, and understand that we're talking about a time when industrialization had not even really begun. Right. So the idea of doing it was from a very, very different context. If a group of people today wanted to go and start a new community in anything at all related similarly to this way, they would be asking themselves, okay, when I get there, right, just think about trying to buy a new piece of land. What are the things you look at? Well, is it unimproved? Is it completely unimproved? Or is there power already to the land? Is there already city water connected to the land? Am I going to have to drill a well? Well, these guys, they're going to dig a well by hand, but they're not asking themselves, what about sewer? What about water access? What about electrical in the way that we do? And the modern mind will find it very difficult to process the idea of, I'm just going to walk out into the woods. I'm going to cut down enough trees to build a cabin, and I'm going to hunt. I'm going to build myself a cabin reasonably close to a usable source of water, and I'm going to hunt, and I'm going to pick berries and fruits and nuts and feed myself until I've managed to work the land around around my little log cabin enough that I've got a little agriculture going on. And that's the whole plan.
And remember,
once I've achieved agriculture, once I've achieved small local, I've got a garden that I can eat from, and I go hunt once a week or so. That's my plan for the rest of my life. Try and get that into the skull. And I was thinking about that, and then I was thinking, what will the future look like looking back on us, post-work, post-scarcity, full AI integration, automation, et cetera, and then on the way home from Thanksgiving dinner, we listened to Alice's Restaurant because it's Thanksgiving, and then for the last 15 minutes we were on the road, we were listening to Steam Powered Giraffe, and it just flipped in my brain, and I thought, oh yeah, everything I was thinking about earlier today, vaudeville is exactly the medium for that.
Man, you people are weird. What are you doing?
I love vaudeville music. What are you talking about?
What is this, Steve? I despise it. Fucking Ebenezer Scrooge to your Thanksgiving, sir. Right?
If you're not familiar with Steam Powered Giraffe, that's a whole other conversation.
No, I can't. Just like
they were a group of brilliant artists that were entirely devoured by modern wokist transgender sociopathy. Their music was brilliant, and then one of them was inverted.
So they flew too close to the homosexual sun, is what you're saying, and they got paused. They got
that
paused.
Would have been better. That would have been better for them. So, speaking of abject degeneracy, it has to be protested. It has to be abject degeneracy must be opposed on all fronts. And this group of protesters went to a Planned Parenthood in South Carolina to protest that thing which must most vociferously and strongly be protested, which is the recreational murder of the unborn. And I want to clarify, I want to beat on that for just a second, because you will hear arguments for abortion. Well, what about life of the mother? What about rape and incest? Okay. Rape and incest together
It's like 0.6. It's not statistically not relevant.
Correct. It's statistically non-existent. And then you go to the life of the mother argument. Do you know what percent of abortion cases involve a life of the mother actually involve a legitimate threat to the mother, Mario?
1% or less.
0.
Yeah.
Well, there is no such thing. An abortion that saves the mother is not a thing. In fact, it is impossible. Because here's the truth. A pregnancy that is in such a state that it is causing the mother life-threatening medical distress, it is not killing the baby that saves the mother. It is ending the pregnancy. Those are two very different things. Removing the baby is what ends the pregnancy. Abortion is intentionally killing the baby.
Yeah.
In no case where medical intervention is required to remove the baby from the mother because the pregnancy is causing life-threatening distress, is it sensible to add the additional step of murdering the child first. If the child does not survive the procedure of removing him or her from the womb in an attempt to save the mother, that is different. That is not the same thing as making the decision before rendering the life-saving care to the mother, before engaging in the intervention, which removes the child from the equation and stops the body stress of the pregnancy, of the distressed pregnancy.
Right.
In order for there to be an abortion involved, you are either entering the mother with tools and tearing the baby apart, murdering it by dismembering it in the womb, and then removing it, either sucking it out with a medical grade shop vac or something, or you're introducing poison to a woman who is already in medical distress. So there are absolutely 0 cases ever where abortion can save the life of a mother. You're actually, in every case where you argue that the abortion saves the life of the mother, you are introducing additional risk to the mother's health by adding an unnecessary and, let's be clear, purely evil procedure to the proceedings, right? And I say all that to say this. All abortion is recreational.
All right. Well, here, let me just make the argument for devil's advocate, okay? Because Cam's not here. So you're gonna remove, like, okay, let's say her woman's uterus is basically fucked, okay? Like it's jacked up, and if it expands anymore, it's gonna hemorrhage, okay, and she's gonna bleed internally and die, okay, just because she's got her uterus is basically cooked, okay. So you're removing a baby or a fetus, okay, in say the second trimester, where it's not going to be viable to survive, okay. You know what I mean? After it's been removed from the womb because it's not ready. Does it make a significant difference if you kill the baby in the womb as opposed to removing it and allowing it to die naturally? And yes, I know we're talking about a statistically insignificant number of pregnancies that are terminated. I'm okay with it. I think the point. I think it matters.
I want you to rephrase your question, because I'm not. I don't think that you've just asked a question which I haven't already answered.
You did answer it. I was just, trying to maybe shine some more light on it, or just kind of expand on it. I didn't want to have an abortion conversation today, to be honest. So.
No, and we're not gonna spend too much more time on this as far as the abortions part of it goes, because we want to get into the actual story. But just to kind of bring that home. 21 weeks. Right? 21 weeks. So that's the record. 21 weeks, 128 days is the record for the most premature child. Not 21 weeks early. 21 weeks of gestation is the earliest premature birth that has ever survived. So that's still second trimester. That's
a lot of clinics, especially the ones that people on Medicaid use. Okay, like poor people clinics. They don't have like immediate access to neonatal intensive care unit. Okay, so there's a good chance that the baby would not survive. Okay,
correct.
The fetus would not survive. I mean, it's human. I don't try to separate the. I think a zygote, okay, is still a human being because it is genetically complete human being. Okay, it just hasn't developed yet. But
well, in fact, more importantly, it's genetically complete and it is genetically distinct from its forebears,
and it is alive.
Yeah.
Aaron Olson, that's a good way. Aaron Olson asked, "Can I ask a hypothetical? What if science develops artificial wombs? They exist.
We should destroy science.
They exist. We just haven't used. We haven't, due to ethical. We still have some ethical measures in place in the medical industry that have prevented it from being adopted like widespread. Okay, they've been growing livestock for like experimental purposes in artificial wombs for quite a while now. So it's totally doable. Okay, and I guess once we have the artificial wombs, then we can really then we can deal with the woman question, right? Then we ladies.
Yes. So, shooting at South Carolina Planned Parenthood. So all that to say, I want to see protesters protesting the evil of abortion. But officers of the Columbia Police Department are investigating what they have described, as an isolated shooting incident in a parking lot outside of a Planned Parenthood facility in the Forest Acres region of Columbia, South Carolina. God. Mario, can you read this for a minute?
Do you need a kickstart? Do you need someone to? Do you need to be jump kicked in the chest? Okay. An isolated shooting incident in a parking lot outside of Planned Parenthood facility in the Forest Acres region of Columbia, South Carolina. According to a post from the city's social media accounts, the incident took place at approximately 10:45 Eastern Standard Time on Friday morning. So this is November 14th, okay? A male was shot, the city's post noted. He was taken to a local hospital for treatment. According to police, the unnamed victim was in stable condition following the hospitalization. Need more words.
Yeah. So that's how it's framed here, right?
Who got shot and why? This makes no sense.
Yeah, a male was shot, the city's post noted. Okay. So that's the story from Fitz News. Well, let's take a look at the more extended story. Get a little more information here. Head of anti-abortion group charged in shooting outside Columbia Planned Parenthood.
Okay.
Boy, that sure sounds like a violent, radical right-winger went to Planned Parenthood and shot some poor, destitute little girl who just made a mistake and was trying to get an abortion so that she could grow up to be the next glass ceiling smashing CEO, girl boss bitch. Nope.
This is like Christmas morning for a leftist. Okay, a bald-headed white male extremist basically shoots up someone at an abortion clinic. Okay, oh my God, this guy is every leftist wants to wake up to this story. Okay. Just a confirmation bias extreme. Okay.
Until we get into what the actual story is. So instead of reading this article, I'm actually going to drop back real quick and play you the news report here. I probably need to double check the audio connection.
I'm guessing there are no
Columbia police made an arrest in the shooting that.
Oh, say again, Mario.
I'm guessing there are no heroes in this story.
Actually,
Okay.
I
well,
think you're going to find this interesting.
happened near Planned Parenthood
I want y'all to pay close attention to how they frame everything in this article.
earlier this month.
Columbia police arrested 56-year-old Mark Baumgartner. Witnesses immediately identified Baumgartner in this cell phone video taken from the scene on November 14th. Baumgartner now faces charges of assault and battery of a high and aggravated nature and possession of a weapon during a violent crime.
Okay, so first things first. Okay, so that's Baumgartner there in the yellow jacket, and what you're seeing there is he's pepper spraying this guy who's just come up and gotten in his face, right? Thing one, you're out on the street and somebody comes up and I don't care what you're doing, right? As long as you're not out there committing crimes and hurting people, if you are out in public doing something that you are legally allowed to do, which, let me remind you, if it is not forbidden, it is allowed. Right? That doesn't mean that everything that's allowed is good or a good idea, but the fact is, Baumgartner was doing a protest on public land outside of a Planned Parenthood. It, by all appearances, it looks like he was absolutely within his rights and doing the activity of, a peaceful assembly and the exercise of free speech. When this guy got up in his face, screaming at him, threatening him, and Baumgartner busts out the pepper spray and sprays this guy in the face. That's right, Mario. This story started with Baumgartner choosing to use a less than lethal option on a ravening attacker.
Investigative reporter Derek Rush shares more details after attending Baumgartner's bond hearing.
Records show.
And Baumgartner has had a bond hearing.
This brother looking zesty.
Mark Baumgartner was booked into jail this morning. His attorney says that should have never happened. Meanwhile, the victim in strong disagreement, and the victim's advocate sharing what that victim says happened before he was pepper sprayed and before the shot rang out on.
Okay, did you catch it, Mario?
No, I didn't.
Did you catch what Mr. Zesty just told us?
No, I was just thinking. I wasn't even listening. I was thinking, like, why is it? Do you have to be gay to be black and in the news? Like, is that a requirement?
Yes.
Anyway, what did he say?
I'm going to back this up, and I want you to listen carefully to what he's saying.
Okay. All right.
The victim in strong this morning. His attorney says that should have never happened. Meanwhile,
Okay, so Baumgartner was booked into jail, and Baumgartner's attorney says this should never have happened.
Okay.
He should never have been booked into jail, right? And then listen to what this guy says.
The victim in strong disagreement, and the victim's advocate sharing what that victim says happened before he was pepper sprayed and before the shot rang out on camera.
Who's the victim?
What shot?
Oh, we haven't gotten to that bit yet. So
during a violent crime.
Right there's Baumgartner, right? He pepper sprays homeboy.
Yeah.
And so you just heard what the guy said there. Baumgartner has been charged, and this is the one that they're referring to as the victim.
Yeah, I got that.
The victim,
if they can't help themselves, they're going to share more of the video.
And the victim's advocate sharing what that victim says happened.
And yeah, he called him and he referred to him 3 times as the victim. Referred to the guy who was pepper sprayed as the victim.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And given what they've already shown us, because back here you'll see
a violent crime.
They started with this.
Of assault and battery of a high and aggravated nature and Baumgartner in this cell phone video taken from the scene on November 14th.
They're trying to frame it as if the whole incident began with Baumgartner pepper spraying this guy in the face. But even if that were the case, watch.
You did not just do that.
The man seen using pepper spray.
Yes, I fucking did.
And do you see what happened there? They cut it.
No, you.
Right, watch this. So he pepper sprays the guy, and then watch this.
Did not just do that.
The man seen using pepper spray.
The guy that got pepper sprayed, whose name we don't have. They have not released this guy's name. They have not released the assailant's name. So after Baumgartner pepper sprayed him, he kept attacking. But as you see right here for this news
Did
segment,
not just do that.
The man seen using pepper spray
as soon as the guy comes back at Baumgartner, they cut the video. So you don't. They're trying to obscure the fact that this guy attacked Baumgartner to begin with, got pepper sprayed, and then continued to attack him after he was pepper sprayed. Right? Now you've got three people, right, in the clip right there. They're trying so hard to cut this for framing. Now it looks like Baumgartner and some random dude are just tackling this guy for no reason. So now we've got the violent right-wing extremists, right, are being framed as just attacking this guy for no reason. And then it gets a little bit further, and eventually you see a third person come in. Right now, you see there's three people with the yellow vests on, trying to deal with this guy. But watch again as where they cut.
Spray. And eventually
they cut,
firing a shot.
So they cut the video right before the unnamed assailant throws yet another punch, continuing the attack, even after having been pepper sprayed, and now there's three people trying to restrain him and stop him from attacking.
Is now facing charges. Mark Baumgartner, who is the executive director for anti-abortion nonprofit A Moment of Hope, went before.
And they keep saying anti-abortion. No, son. It's not anti-abortion. It's pro-life.
And
then I don't think they show the full.
He said that the recording here in which the victim doubt, leading to the confrontation caught on camera.
Don't ever try to get that at me.
See, the victim's advocate says that the victim has since been released from the hospital and is currently back.
Statement in response to Baumgartner's arrest saying in part, quote, "No one should ever face the threat of violence because they're seeking or providing health care. Our doors are open today, and they'll stay open to provide the compassionate care that our patients need and deserve." And
okay, so that's the statement from Planned Parenthood. No one should ever face the threat of violence because they are seeking or providing health care. You know what? How about this one, Planned Parenthood? No one should face the threat of violence when they are attempting to protect the lives of the unborn. And then the rest of their statement, our doors are open today and they will stay open to provide the compassionate care that our patients need and deserve. Let me remind you, 100% of the so-called compassionate care provided by Planned Parenthood is abortion. Planned Parenthood likes to say that abortion is only a small fraction of the services that they perform because they also do ultrasounds and pap smears and pelvic checks and XYZ. But the reality is that all of those are services that are performed as part of the process to get to an abortion. It's like McDonald's saying we only sell, or we don't just sell cheeseburgers. We also have fries and soda. Yes, yeah. But how many people come in for just fries and soda? Right?
Nobody. And then
you know what? No, that's not even the best example. It's more like Ford Motor Company saying we don't just make vehicles. We also build engines and transmissions and brake assemblies and tire assemblies and et cetera, et cetera. It's like, yeah, but you build all of those things to put them in a car. If it were not for your building cars, you would do none of those other things, and that's how Planned Parenthood is.
Yeah,
literally 100% of what they do is abortion.
That's got to be what that's an incredibly dishonest news story. Okay, like the deceptively edited, okay, framed, and then with the moral piece at the end from the for Planned Parenthood. That's absolute fucking disgrace. I looked up WIS 10 just out of curiosity, and it's an NBC affiliate, so. Shouldn't be surprised, but wow, that's disinformation. That's what disinformation actually is. When you intentionally obscure the truth through selectively framing, okay, the story and selectively editing the story. That's actual disinformation. Okay. I mean, yeah. I feel stupider having watched that article, having watched that.
So yeah, and like I showed you, and I can't seem to find the full clip anywhere. Everywhere I see the clip, it's a link to one or another article, and the only version of the video that I seem to be able to find is where they're showing it through where it's been edited that way too, right? So you don't see the guy when he first attacks Baumgartner, and then they try to cut it every time the guy throws a punch at Baumgartner. But this dude, after he was pepper sprayed, he punched Baumgartner in the back of the head as Baumgartner was fleeing from him, running away from him, 5 or 6 times before Baumgartner finally just turned around and shot him in the belly.
Yep. He went feral. Literally went reaver mode.
Yeah, frankly, the only thing Baumgartner did wrong is he stopped pulling the trigger.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to shoot someone, you might as well kill them, okay? In the long run, it will save you the lawsuits.
Yeah, the dead men tell no tales.
Yeah, if you're going to shoot someone, you might as well kill them.
Correct. And if I have to go in front of a jury and argue that what I did was self-defense,
and that goes the other way. If you don't want to kill someone, don't shoot them.
Correct. If I have to go in front of a jury and argue that what I did was self-defense, I don't want somebody making the counter argument.
Yep. I agree.
And if you put me in a position where I have to defend myself with lethal force, you don't deserve to make a counter argument. You made your argument. Your argument was to choose violence. And I took that option away from you.
And we settled that on the field of battle.
Yes,
and it was
we settled that discussion.
And unfortunately for you, it was over very quickly.
Yeah.
Yep.
For those of you who haven't done it before, I can tell you, gunfights are quick.
Yeah.
Gunfights are real quick. Yeah. I know we did kind of a lot of setup on this because abortion is one of those topics that I am very, very aggressively opposed to. There are a few things that are very, very hot political topics that are difficult for people to discuss with one another because all the LGBT stuff, abortion stuff, y'all, I have friends and family who are gay, right? I have friends and family who have had abortions. And I'm certain that many, if not most of you do as well. This is one of the things that we have to be cognizant of. As much as it may feel difficult to criticize people you love, you don't have to hate people who are worthy of criticism. It is okay to criticize bad behavior. And part of the infectious nature of the communist mind virus is that once you know someone who is doing the thing, it becomes more difficult to criticize the thing on an emotional level because you don't want to be disloyal or discourteous to people that you have great affection for. But that makes you a soft target. And it has made all of us soft targets. So, you can still love and cherish the people that you love and cherish, but we cannot shy away from discussing the topics themselves and working to nothing short of the complete and utter abolition of abortion. Right. I give no ground on this issue. There are no abortions which are necessary or have value. All abortions are recreational and selfish in nature. Every single abortion is a selfish act of recreational promiscuity and should be condemned more completely than anybody on either side.
Yeah. It's a good controversy to actually to have a hard line on it, like black and white. So it's one of the decisions where I say I don't like to let principle get in the way, okay? Because, well, I'm a little shady, but the abortion issue is, yeah, that's one of those principal decisions where it is yes or it is no, and I choose no. So, yep, I agree with you on that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mario, I think that's about all I've got for you this morning, except for perhaps a quick safety brief. And here's your safety brief. Stay strapped.
Okay. Oh shit. My desk gun is missing. Oh, all I have is an empty Glock magazine. That's not good. Got caught lacking in the crib.
Yeah, you know, one of my life goals is to replace that airsoft 240 Bravo back there with a real one.
Yeah.
And just every now and then go and have a $1,000 minute of sheer gungasm in the backyard.
Oh man, I really don't want to I don't want to extend the conversation, but Aaron Olson says don't use old ammunition. That is true. I went to the range while my brother was here. My father, brother, and I. All right, and we just out of
Your
curiosity.
father, brother. I thought you lived in Florida, not Alabama.
My father. We keep
me and Uncle Daddy gonna have a nephew son.
We keep our bloodline pure, boy. You see. Mm-hmm. But we're shooting, and I'm just like, you know what? Well, I've had these like nasty hollow tips in this in this pistol, okay, for like 5 years now. They've been sitting in that magazine for 5 years. I'm like, maybe let me just pop them off, see what happens. And I'm like, I'm like basically getting malfunctions, okay, you know, just UXO on the ground because the primers are not activating. All right, and I'm like, okay, is this gun effed up? And then I grab fresh, brand new ball ammo, loaded in there, fire, cycles perfectly. Okay, I'm like, okay, wow, the bullets literally expired. I did not know. I've heard of this, but I've never seen it myself. Yes, bullets do expire after about 7 years. They're done.
Yes, whenever I buy new ammunition, I just, I sit down, I pour a cup of whiskey, and I get the bullets out, and I write a date on them with a Sharpie every round.
No, you don't.
Correct. You're correct. I don't.
Christopher Lowry, the next trans shooter. LOL.
God, Jesus. Woo! Yeah, just come stumbling into a Catholic school with an AR in one hand and a Molotov in the other, and just shout, "Look at my tetes!"
Grounds for immediate execution.
No, sir. I think we're good here, baby. Yep. I think we're good. All right, guys. Thanks for watching this morning. Tomorrow's Saturday. We'll have the deep dive at 2100 as per the usual. We love you, and we will see you tomorrow.
Ciao.
See, there it is. Mario knows how to say ciao. Cameron needs his own sign off, because yesterday I said we'll see you tomorrow, and he just sat there staring at the camera like a fucking dunce. Like, come on, son, do something.
Yeah, I know. When he was in when he was in studio with you, you could just slap him. But now that he's, you don't have that option anymore.
Yeah, I can no longer just reach out and touch him. It is dramatically less convenient.
I agree.